So I was copying my old files from my phone to the PC for backup, and I saw this one folder with my ex-wife on it, but that folder was dedicated to her. The time that we spent in the past year, because I back up my files every year. And when I look at her pictures, I was reminded of how much love I had for this woman, and like the feeling, or rather my feelings, the times, I guess, that we had, even during, like, in the midst of our divorce, I still had so much love to give to this person. So just being reminded of that, I was able to forgive myself for missing her right now, because I'm just reminded of how much love and care I pour into this person, even through my own imperfections. I was never perfect. I made a lot of mistakes. I also especially during the divorce, I was also like panicking and agitated. So more fumbles were made in that time. And just being reminded of all the good times and the love and effort that I put into this woman, I was able to forgive myself for missing her, even after how she treated me during the divorce. Like, her wanting the divorce and like the finalization was about 9 months. So the past 9 months have been the worst 9 months of my life. The worst. It was harder than that time when I was depressed in Japan. And like, I'm not saying that it's okay for whatever she did to me, or how she just threw away the relationship. That's on her. That's a reflection of the person that she is. And I'm still not gonna forgive that. Be for real. But I also find it that I did blame myself a lot for what she did to me. And then when I started to miss her, it felt, I feel like I was going crazy, because my mind is fucking angry at this woman for her manipulation for her gaslighting, for making me the villain, for treating me like shit. After all that I tried to give her, and when I say tried, I gave my all for her. I don't doubt that one bit. I really gave my heart and soul, especially during like the divorce. I really tried everything that I can to save the relationship. Even getting closer to the divorce, I was like, I tried to not be bitter or angry. I tried to make reconciliation, not because I was trying to get her back, but because I don't want to be enemies. I don't want any like bad faith to go after the divorce. Well, this was before I found out that she was cheating. But yeah, I really tried everything, and I tried my hardest, my best to be kind of and loving even to the very end. And only for that to be met with cheating and infidelity. I kind of feel like I'm able to empathize with myself for feeling angry. Like, not only did I try to save the relationship, but even when it was unsalvageable, salvage. Yeah, when I can't salvage it, I still try to be as kind as I can, you know? So, yeah, I was fucking angry. I didn't feel like I did anything to deserve infidelity. Like, maybe I wasn't attentive enough, or I wasn't thoughtful enough, or whatever. So, and then if she wants a divorce on that basis, you know, it sucks, but it's a reasonable premise, you see, because maybe I wasn't meeting her needs. So, and maybe separation was the only way. That is acceptable. Depends on the person, I guess, but at least it's a logical premise. But I did not do anything to deserve betrayal. And yeah. So when I saw her pictures again, I mean, it reopened the wound somehow, sort of. But I was also able to empathize with the cognitive dissonance that I'm facing right now, which is I'm fucking angry at her, but I also miss her. And these are two different occurrences that happen in different times. But me right now, I have to face both of it. at the history, the 4 years history that we had, now compiled into one moment, and I have to face both the good and the bad things throughout the relationship. And I don't have to, I feel like now, compared to a few days ago, I feel like now that I don't have to like blame myself for feeling such a way that I hate her and I also miss her, because those two feelings are based on two different bases. The love and the missing part is based on the time we spent together, the good times, the love that I poured into her, all the effort that I tried in my own ways, whether or not I was successful. That's the part that I miss. And the angry part, the resentful part, is the part that she couldn't meet me halfway. She couldn't communicate. She didn't appreciate my effort for what it was. She gaslit me, she stonewalled me, she breadcrumbed me, manipulated me, gaslit. And then she was, especially towards the end, she was just using me for my money, for whatever I can provide for her, using me and knowing full well that she was cheating at the same time. That's the part I'm angry about. And it's almost like it's two different people. It feels like the person that I miss and the person that I hate, they're not even the same people, not even the same person. In a way, it makes it easier for me to comprehend the cognitive dissonance, the superposition of feeling both love and hate at the same person. But in reality, it's not the same person. Both of them are real. They're both her, but one is her engulfed in fear, and the other is her when she's actually at peace. And it's not disappointing, it's kind of a shame, I guess, because I know the best part of her, and I know the potential that she can have with or without me, like the happiness that she could achieve if only she could like not trigger herself, or rather, if only she could not give in to the fear, you know, control the fear, like soothe herself and the child inside of her. Like throughout our relationship, I know that she's not a person who's capable of self-soothing. It always has to be me who has to calm her down. And of course, as a partner, like being there for your partner, it's a given. But at the same time, like if she can't feel safe in herself, no one can make her feel safe, because no matter what you do, you can't run away from yourself. So it's such a shame that I know her potential, but I also know her setbacks. And even through the loving and the grace that I give to her throughout our relationship, the gaslighting, the blaming, the ignoring, that didn't start with the divorce. It was always there ever since we know each other. I always know that. But I was able to not control, I wouldn't say control, I was just able to, strategically like, it is control, but it's not control in the sense that I'm orchestrating things. It's more like I always release the triggering bit by bit. So I wasn't like controlling her anger and stuff, more like I was controlling the triggers, if that even makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I've been walking on eggshells for a few years now, so maybe that says something about me too. Like a healthy person with good boundaries wouldn't walk on eggshells, wouldn't placate to someone who always violate their boundaries, wouldn't be codependent to someone who gives nothing back. I mean, that's the thing, it's not like she didn't give anything. I think she knows, whether consciously or not, like she knows she's crazy. So whenever I was showing boundary, she would like pull back, or rather she would calm down, or she would control that fear. Yeah, I think she also knows that she's not the easiest person to love. I think she knows that, but she always makes me the one who feel like I'm hard to love. Just when she decided on the divorce, she no longer feels like she needs to meet me in the middle. So like then like all hell breaks loose, and she was throwing away the relationship basically. So she just used me because she knows I still wanted to save the relationship, and that's fucked up, to be frank. Because that just shows a lack of ethics or integrity. Because like, let's say she just wanted a divorce, she didn't have to use me for my money. She didn't have to cheat. She didn't have to just be like fucking emotional and shouting and like treat me like a fucking doormat or her emotional punch bag. It's, you see, like some people say that when you're triggered, the bad things that you do are not conscious. But the way she strategically manipulated me into giving her what she wanted, even though she was already leaving or like mentally checked out, like how strategically she did it. It's hard to think that someone was doing this unconsciously. Like, she fucking knows she hurt me. She fucking knows she's using me. And she just didn't have the integrity to tell herself no, to not abuse her power. Like many times in the last 9 months where I was like, okay, maybe like in the last 4 or 5 months, when I said like, okay, the divorce is happening, I'm giving you the divorce, so I'm just gonna pull away. And she was like trying to make me stay, but she wasn't giving me anything back. For example, when I agreed to the divorce, we were like, okay, let's have a divorce. This was in March, I think. And then when I got home, she suddenly said that she missed me, that she loved me, that she can't wait to see me again because I was coming to France the next month. And like, what is this if not conscious manipulation? And if I had not agreed to the divorce, maybe I would have thought, oh, maybe I can still save this. But because I already tried my best in Italy, not in France, in Italy, where we went for a holiday. That was like the best I could do, really. When she tried to manipulate me into folding, like I couldn't, I wasn't having it, really, because you want me to divorce you. I gave it to you, and now you're saying you miss me. And when I call it out, she blamed me for calling her sayang and whatnot. That has nothing to do with how she's trying to reel me back in. And then, like I said, like, if you miss me, do you want to stay with me? And she said no. So what is that if not just manipulation? And I guess that was the moment where we started having a lot of arguments, because I was not having it. That was my boundary, really. I have shit for boundaries, but you blatantly trying to string me along like how you did to your exes, it's an insult to my intellect. And like, there was, even before then, there was so many times that she wanted me to stay friends after the divorce. What the fuck? That's really stupid, by the way. And I said no all the time. So in a sense, I feel like the main reason she cheated was because I had my boundaries. I said, if we're going to get divorced, I'm not gonna be here with you for you. And if you say you miss me, like, are you saying it to stay with me, or are you just trying to make me feel nostalgic, or are you just trying to make me to string me along, really? And like, both times she failed to respect my boundaries. Just remembering the many times that she wanted to stay as friends. It wasn't just one time she asked that. At first she asked, like, after the divorce, can we still stay friends? I said no. She was like, okay, but maybe can we still just like talk sometimes? I said no. And then she said, like, how about, what if I want to just talk about my family issues, or maybe one of her auntie that she hates, because she wouldn't have anyone else to talk about that. She only had me. And I said no. Like, I'm not your fucking convenient guy. If you want me to be your friend, reciprocate. I'm not here for your taking. I'm not just someone who you can conveniently emotionally dump on, and then when I expect reciprocation, you just run away. So yeah, it was the manipulation, I guess, that really ticked me off the most, because manipulation is 100% conscious. You don't strategize against a person's feeling unconsciously. She definitely knew she was doing it. I can take a lot of disrespect, abuse, gaslight, blaming. I took that a lot during the 4 years relationship. And sometimes I do believe in the gaslighting, because I do feel like a lot of things that happened was my fault. But I kind of realize now that maybe some yes, but it's not always that. Even if it's someone's fault, you don't always have to make them feel bad for it. All you had to do was communicate. All you had to do was ask, like, hey, I'm not really happy with this or that, and I feel like you're not giving me what I need or whatnot. That's what someone who's healthy would do. So there was none of that during the relationship. There was only shouting and blaming, and everything is my fault. And again, to be fair, sometimes it is. Or maybe I'm just too codependent to admit that not everything is my fault, or rather, it's not as much as my fault, you know. I'm just a bitch like that. So yeah, I guess that speaks something about me as well. Like, taking people's disrespect so openly, so frequently, never asking for anything back, never asking for reciprocation. It really says that I just lack the self-respect for myself. Sorry, the respect for myself. But regardless, this video is long. When I saw the pictures, going back to the first point, when I saw the pictures, it did reopen the wound, but at the same time, I was able to like segregate the good times and the bad times, and the love I still feel for her that I'm trying to let go, the anger that I still have for her that I'm also trying to let go. And even though I'm still hurt, I think I'm just gives me a bit more clarity now. About why I feel the two opposing feelings, the cognitive dissonance. And clarity gives me, it makes it easier to go through the day to day, makes it easier to survive, and maybe ultimately makes it a bit more logical to move on. And improve. And if I ever fall in love again, find someone better, someone who reciprocates. But to find that person, I also need to be someone who respects myself. And like, the funny thing is, I wasn't aware that I was lacking self-respect. For me, I just thought, oh, it's my responsibility to be there for someone. And I guess it never occurred to me that in a relationship, the other person also has to meet you, or to be there for me, to meet me in the middle. It's a lot of lessons to be learned. Yeah.